Welcome to Part of My Imagination. I'm Imagination and you're the Imaginers. Welcome if this is your first time. My name's Jasmine and welcome back if this is your second or third or however many times you've made yourself to my channel. Today, I'm going to be talking about the books that I read in the second week of September. I'm only going to be talking about a total of like maybe 3 books, if that, because your girl ain't been reading, okay? Your girl has been struggling. But we're not going to talk about it. We're just going to go ahead and move on to the books. So let's go on to the first book that I read in the second week of September. Alright, the first book that I read is Only Human by Sullivan Newell. This is the last book in the, what's it called, series? The Themis Files? Yes, that's it. I gave this book 4.5-ish stars. Alright, so I've been talking about Sleeping Giants for like ever because I love Sleeping Giants so much. It's like the embodiment of science fiction. Everything that you need in a science fiction is in this book. You got case files. You got science. And I mean like hardcore, I didn't know what the fuck was going on science. You got math. You got linguists. You got robots and engineering. What more do you need in a science fiction book but all that? That's it. That's all you need. But yeah, Sleeping Giants is pretty much following this girl. It's following this woman, Dr. Franklin, Rose Franklin, right? At a young age, she ends up following it. She's playing outside, and she falls in this big ass crater. And inside the crater is this giant ass hand. And they're like, whoa, where the hell did this hand come from? Lo and behold, 20 some years later, she ends up becoming a scientist. Coincidence or not, she ends up becoming the lead doctor on this program to find out where the fuck this hand came from. Lo and behold, they keep finding all these body parts all around the world. They got them a big ass giant. Where did this giant come from? We don't know. How can you operate the giant? I don't know. But that's what this book's about, and it's phenomenal. And the second book is just kind of playing off on the second one. And I'm not going to tell you about the second one because then obviously it would spoil the first one. And then the third one, I'm not going to tell you about the third one because, you know, it would spoil the first and second book. But I thought it was a good ending to the series. I really enjoyed it. I do think that two of the main characters in the third book were kind of annoying. Because if they just communicated and talked to each other, I feel like a lot of issues and like hostility, intention that was going on between them could have been solved. But because they didn't talk to each other, it made it very frustrating. Wow. Gotta cut that out because that's a fucking spoiler. Well, yeah. So, I would pick this series up if you like science, honestly. It's a really good book. If you like the Illuminae Files and you like how, like, it's told in, like, a case, then you're going to like this series. But on to the next. Alright, so the next book that I read was Bright We Burn by Kristen White. I gave this book 4.5 stars. It could have got 5 stars, but I did not like the ending. I didn't like the end. There was nothing wrong with this book. Literally, it is 5 stars. But I gave it 4.5 stars because I didn't like the fucking ending. It made me so mad. I loved this series so much. The first book is And I Darken. The second book is Now I Rise. The last one is Bright We Burn. Love this series to death. I was so embedded in this character. And actually, no, I also gave it 4 stars because I just didn't like how everything went about. Okay? It was really good. The writing was phenomenal. Plot is phenomenal. But I just didn't fucking like it because I felt like it took away. I can't tell you because it would spoil it. So if you've read this series and you want to talk to me, hit me up on Twitter so I can rant to you about this series. Because I tell you what, it made me so mad. Okay, so it's following brother and sister Nazara and Radu. And essentially at a young age, their father is the prince, because that's what they call their like leader, the prince of Valeria. And essentially to get himself out of a better like debt or whatever, he ends up selling his children to the Ottoman Empire. And they, from like a young age, they were raised in the Ottoman Empire with the prince and all this other stuff. And yeah, relationships are built. One goes one way, one goes the other way, and you're pretty much following Zahara. That's her name, right? Nazira. Wow, I'm way off. Oh, because I was reading We Hunt the Flame and it was like throwing me off. But Nazira. So you're following Nazira. And I really, really enjoyed Nazira. She's such a strong female character. She's like that, like, I'm gonna go out and do it for my fucking self and can't nobody tell me nothing. And just because I'm a woman doesn't mean that I can't do it. So love that for her. And Radu is kind of like the more soft-spoken sibling where, you know, Nazira pretty much has to like look out for her brother, and he's more of like the pretty boy who is really shy, but he knows how to like use his looks to he knows how to politic essentially. And yeah, and they kind of they kind of have their own separate ways that they go. And I just didn't like how things were accomplished in this last book, because I loved Nazira so much, and I did not like the ending. So I'm just gonna stop ranting about it, and I'm gonna put this book down and move on to the next. Alright, and last but not least, I read Throne of Glass by Sarah J Maas. I gave this book 4 stars, roughly. 4.5. All these books that this week I've given 4.5 to 4 stars. But yes, essentially, I feel like everyone knows what this is about. But if you don't know what this is about, this is following this girl, Selena. Yeah. So it's following this girl who pretty much was an orphan, and the people that took her, she went to like a place that like they're assassins essentially. And yeah, so she was raised to be assassin, and she's like the top assassin in this country, and she ends up getting caught, and it's starting out with her in this place where like she's in a prison, but like she's mining and stuff. But yeah, she's in this prison, and then she ends up getting taken out of the prison to compete for the king in this champions competition. And if she wins after 4 years, she will get her freedom, essentially. And yeah, like, it was actually really good. Like, she knows that she looks good. She knows that she's a badass. She's confident. Drizzle some magic in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? Put some magic in there. Put cute guys. I am rooting for Cal. I need Cal to come through. It is so typical for the main characters to fall in love with the prince. But I don't want her to fall in love with the prince. I want her to fall in love with Cal, the guard. Why can't she fall in love with him? Why does she have to fall in love with the handsome prince? Blah, blah, blah. No. Can we get some Selena and Cal love going on in here? Because he is clearly feeling homegirl, and homeboy is fine, okay? He is fine, and y'all know how I like fine characters. Hello? Don't get me wrong, the prince is handsome. But Cal, he be training with her. He be getting all the muscles and shit on him. Okay. We gonna stop there. But yes, I am actually really excited to pick up the rest of this series and figure out what's going on. I need to know if there's gonna be some Cal love, because yeah, I'm gonna need it. And that's that. That's it. All right, those are all the books that I read in the second week of September. As you can see, I have been such a productive reader in September. Like, so productive. Not really. I'm so far behind. But you know what? It's fine. It's fine. Everything is fine. Your girl is at 105 books for the year. I am moving and cruising. But yes, that is all that I have for you guys today. Be sure to check out my description where you will find easy ways to contact me and all the books and channels that I talked about. If you like this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if not, just imagine how you didn't come back again. Until next time, keep imagining.